Welcome to another week of Ether Raids. We are now in Astra season, Astra Anima, and yeah, we're gonna get going. Sita to start off the week, because what better way to do it than to throw Sita out there into the mix. 73 health. Look at that, man. Mythic support, summoner support. She just does so well with the stats. Kind of like an armored unit in a sense, where she just performs better the more that you invest into her. It's fantastic. So yeah, we're gonna throw her out there into the mix and let her just tank everything. You know, there were days when I used to be like so afraid of Duma because his upheaval was just the bane of my existence. I don't even care anymore. It doesn't even matter. So yeah, I'm gonna throw Sita up here, figure out how to get the pots, and close out the show from there.
What shall we do?
Interesting that I'm able to clear the times gate. No, it's not times gate. The shutdown effect from Baby Golvig with Sita here. That's a interesting res check that I'm meeting with Sita there. That's pretty cool. But I mean, this is just the first match. Usually, what you expect. So, no complaints. Really, I think I could do this with Astra as well, but Sita just has more style points, so I'm gonna use her because style points. And look at those numbers, man. It just makes me so happy to see that. Geez, the investment really does pay off. I think outside of Tamara, who just hits 200s, like, I think Tamara is the only unit in the game that just consistently hits 200 damage on like every special hit, and it's crazy. I don't know what they were thinking with allowing her damage to scale that high. It's difficult to tank. If there's ever a unit that you would probably consider to give potent to, which definitely her, because 80% of 200. It's a good amount. I think if you could pull it off, but I don't think you could, because if you get it, unless you get it on like the first hit and then second, third, you could probably do it on the third hit. But yeah, 80% of 200 plus, which is usually what she's hitting for. That's a pretty decent number. You're probably going to get something out of that potent. If that's the plan, to just scale damage higher so that potent can actually do something, then I mean, I don't know, kudos, I guess. I guess it scales particularly well with effective damage, so like, let's say Cav effectiveness or armor effectiveness in the case of Brave Prom. Potent on him kind of makes sense because of how the damage would scale, but I still don't really think it's worth it, man. I think you're better off running a different skill, in my opinion. But yeah, Tamara is pretty nuts. I think you all would have seen that plus then Tamara just walk through my defense like it didn't even matter. The fact that she can just tank dual Carla and just like not even care, it's crazy. Even with the blue fuse, she just tanked dual Carla, did not care one bit, and just destroyed Carla. If Carla was able to get like that's the one thing Carla kind of needs: tempo and some way to survive. I didn't want to. Did I give her Excel? No, I don't think I did. I didn't want to commit the Excel into her because, or maybe I did. I don't remember what build she had. It's either Clash or Excel, but typically she's just not living a hit, so understandable. I do want to look at like that archetype some more in terms of like units that can just completely pierce DR in that way, or neutralize the triggering of special DR. I feel like they're going to release a green melee unit that can do that. Similar to Fogado, but we don't have a green melee. We have ranged. Well, Fogado is the only one that's ranged, but I think to complete the weapon triangle, they're definitely going to release a green melee unit that ignores a special based flat damage reduction or special based damage reduction, because we have sword, we have what am I saying? Carla already does that. Alright, never mind. I completely forgot about Carla. But yeah, I guess it's already completed. Sword, Lance, and Axe. Lucia being 2. And then also Ninian. Nana, my apologies, Nana. So there's like 4 of them actually. And then 1 in the form of Fagado from range. So I guess range is up next in terms of being able to perform that specific role. Which is actually scarier than the melee versions because there aren't a lot of far saves that could actually survive a combat without their specials up. I guess it might. Well, no, you can't. You still won't be able to trigger Armored Blaze or Beacon. So, yeah, yeah.
With all my heart.
Not looking great. Hopefully they hold off on that and don't put that out like too soon because I think that might be a little bit game breaking. But let's see what they do. Yeah, those are just my early thoughts on it. We'll get the pot. Peony will attack into Jimbro here, and then that will allow us to just close out the rest of the map. Fantastic having Plumeria be able to move 3 spaces with the Sigurd ring and then Kanto into position. Oh my god, it's so good. This is exactly what you want out of your mythic dancers. The extra movement is just, my word, it's so good for offense. Definitely high praise that they provided this type of weapon effect into the game so that we can just be more mobile. It really helps out with getting the pots, man. I love it. I absolutely love it. But yeah, this map is pretty much over. I'm gonna play one more. Like I said, we're not slowing down. Gonna keep going all the way to the top or as quickly as we can. GG's. Alright, here's the second match for the day, and it is same old, Erica Sita yet again.
With all my heart.
I was looking at Joel's video in terms of like just looking at the units that could survive Felix and Sigurd. A little bit disappointed that he didn't rate Sita higher, but I have to take it into face value in the fact that Sita scales really well off merges, so if you don't have her invested, then she's not going to perform very well for you. Whereas, like, well, I guess you could say that about the majority of them, but like Nagi, you really don't need the merges, both of the Nagis, and then Erica will vantage regardless, but at low merges she will lose to Felix because she just won't meet the speed check, which leaves Tamara, who I think is probably the best option right now when it comes to just surviving everything. If you can get her defense high enough with, I don't know, Unity, speed defense Unity, or solid ground, whichever you prefer, then it really just makes the Sigurd matchup not matter too much. And then she will do fairly well into Felix once she can outspeed him. So definitely hats off to Tamara. I guess since she's like the newest version of or one of the newer units of that bunch, it's understandable why she performs so well. Also, I didn't really see anything. He didn't put Goldmere in there, which was kind of sad, but I get it. She also really needs merges to perform. She's very finicky, very 50-50. She does really well when she does well, and when she fails spectacularly. So I kind of understand that. Very inconsistent. And then also, you know, I've been looking at Summer Alir lately, and I feel like, I mean, that bonded status, what a nothing burger of a status effect. They really just threw that out there just to like mess with us, because it's definitely going to do something in the future. I don't know what it will do in the future, but it'll definitely do something, and I feel it's going to be good. But for now, it's just like standing there on its own, waiting for some help, because it is actually kind of useless in my opinion. But Alir herself, I got a +1 merge on her, and man, she actually puts in a ton of work. Unfortunately, you do need to like completely swap out her build, get rid of that res wave. I mean, it's whatever at this point. Either you get your special off or you don't. It really doesn't matter. Scowl, it doesn't matter. I feel like the Scowl meta is like done because it was such a big thing last year.
As you say.
But this year, I think we've moved away from that, which is crazy to say because
Why not?
Veil, Fallen, and Mythic Veil, that's the whole part of their value. So the fact that we're kind of moved on past that,
Close your eyes.
it's pretty crazy to say. Because there's just so many ways to guarantee that you get your special off now that it's just no fight in it. Like I said, eat the Great Ether and try to retaliate. That's really where we are.
I agree.
So, yeah, man, that Ather, Summer Ather, she is actually looking pretty good when you get like a proper kit on her. You're looking at pretty much just fodder Felix to I feel like that's my solution for most infantry melee units that are good.
Speak.
Yeah, dagger included. Fodder Felix to them, primarily his C skill. And well, actually,
Yes.
that Ather probably doesn't need Felix's C
Where
skill.
next?
She could probably do well with the odd attack, the odd speed wave, because that just gives her more speed. Reason being, she doesn't need the +1 movement because she really benefits from being within 2 spaces or 3 spaces of not support ally, but just like game
I will
titles.
accept candy.
Man, this Astra is so annoying, man. He reminds me a lot of, well, not even. I was gonna say he reminds me a lot of New Year's Astra, but that's not even. I feel like this Astra is actually more annoying than New Year's Astra. He just won't die, and it's insufferable. It's really annoying how bulky he can get. Especially when partnered with like Ather in here. This is gonna take a while to take him out. But anyways, where was I? I was saying that Summer Ather, I've been looking at her in terms of like just altering her kit. Excel, even though I don't really think Excel might be the best thing for her. High Dragon Wall optional, but I was looking at Lagu's friend for her specifically because there's really nothing else to put in that B slot unless you're going to go for like speed-based damage reduction, which is irrelevant at this point. So it's either Lagu's friend or Bulwark.
Lend me your
Lagu's friend is of course superior. It's not for the DR Pearson, but just for the flat damage reduction, which means you probably want to go with like, let's say, occult, not occultist. What's that res one called? Crystalline Water, to get her res up as high as you possibly can, just to get that flat damage reduction to add on to Lagu's friend, or to work with Lagu's friend. And then, but the downside is that you lose out on a ton of speed. But particularly in like Ether raids, there's ways around that because she's really more of the what do you call it now? Box in.
One future.
She's really more of a frontliner, and I think she performs that role really well if you build her with certain skills. I feel like she can go the distance, like especially like against like, let's say, I want to say Tamara. I feel like she could perform fairly well there. The only thing, one of the big things, I really hate when they give brave weapons and they reduce the mites, because she really needs the attack stat, especially because she's colorless. Having a low attack stat is kind of a detriment to her because it means that she'll age poorly unless you find a way to increase her damage output, which is really hard. So, but I mean, that aside, I think she actually has a ton of potential if built properly. I haven't really seen anyone. I've seen a couple of +10s, but they just didn't have the right build. So I don't really know, like, if they're like, I'm just saying it's weird that she isn't more popular or more common than some of the units that are currently in the meta for like Omni tanking. I feel like she's a little bit below legendary male Ather. Because of course male Ather has that miracle effect, which can be turned off, but the fact that she's blessable and she can just stack so many stats, I think she she has a shout. I just, you know, I'm just waiting to get another Brave Felix so that I can build a couple of units like her. I feel like she's at least at Gold Mary's level, and I do think very highly of Gold Mary. So yeah, really high on that some earlier. Almost done here. Just gonna set up to get the pod, and then I don't know what I'm gonna do about this Asker, man. He is being a pain to deal with. But just one more week of this, and then I think it should be the Aided Dagger banner next. That will have the bonus units. I don't want to really bring Dagger because Nurgle.
I'm ready to work.
Oh my god, Nurgle versus Pathfinder is never fun. So I don't know. I'll probably who else is on that banner? Dagger. I don't know, man. I can't remember right now, but I'm gonna bring someone else as a bonus unit for that week because yeah, I'll probably bring what's her name, rearmed Marianne instead, because getting Pathfinder stolen is really annoying. So yeah, I'll probably bring rearmed Marianne. I was doing some omni tanking with Dagger, and she does fairly well. She's just not. I mean, she's just missing that one skill in her B slots, just like, you know, make her 100% better, and that's just really what most God Swords are lacking these days. I came across, side note, randomly came across someone using Brave Marth in SD with Bernie, and he was able to do the Vantage Desperation thing, and my god, it works so well. Yeah, it works really well, especially in SD. For some reason, I was unable to outspeed him, but that is one approach to using Brave Marth, Emblem Marth rather, in Summoner Duels. Summoner Duels are this week, by the way. I was actually hoping for a ranged unit so that I could bring them into Summoner Duels, but we got Bird Lady instead. And I don't know what my teams are going to be. I think as a mythic she should be really pretty decent, but the banner isn't out yet, so I can't summon. So I'll reserve my my thoughts until I get her into testing. But I mean, safe choice. I feel it was an easy pick. Yeah, really not much for me to say right now without actually just seeing how she performs. But yeah, this match is officially done. Jimbro, fantastic yet again, doing the job that I needed him to do. And we're out of here, man. Another match on the books. Astra season is up and running. GG's.